Election wasn't an election, it was a selection of the next member of the elite.
But you contested in the election.
That's exactly why I have a better grip of what happened.
What happened?
There wasn't an election. That's what happened. There was a selection process.
Who selected him?
The INEC and whomever all in the composition that made this grand theft happen.
Grand theft?
Yes.
Would you have won that election?
You don't ask to win an election that didn't happen.
An election you contested in?
I told you, I contested in an election, but the people who organized the election did not conduct an election. They conducted a selection. That's been my position since the end of the electoral cycle in February.
I've been thinking.
Yes.
Sowore calls for revolution now. What do you mean by revolution?
It's very simple. It is a total overhaul of a system of oppression, subjugation, and denial that's been our lives. It's to make a U-turn from that process and to do so by any means necessary.
Did you say any means?
Yes.
Democratic means, you mean?
Well, I do not have any other means that I've used beyond democratic means because I had to defend this in detention and in court. Now,
so you stand for democratic revolution?
The revolution is a revolution. And I do not need to attach other adjectives to it.
But you need to explain it.
I've explained it many times. It's contained even in my statement of trial.
Explain it to me.
Well, I have just explained to you that this country doesn't work for Nigerian people and they need to change course and do so by any means necessary.
Have you studied revolutions?
I have studied revolutions.
I know you have.
Yes.
Do you like the consequences of revolutions?
There is nothing that has worse consequences than bad governance.
You remember the reign of terror in France?
I am telling you that there's nothing worse than what we've been through in this country since last.
The French Revolution led to the reign of terror.
You do not know about the French Revolution more than I do.
I know you have studied the Russian Revolution.
Exactly. I've studied, this Russian Revolution. I've studied the Cuban Revolution.
It produced the killer instantly.
And I've studied the American Revolution as well. So what is important for you to know is that all these countries that we have mentioned have been through revolutions at one time or the other. We haven't. That is probably why we are debating which one will work for us or not. But I'm saying to you categorically that there's nothing worse than what we are going through. And there's nothing a revolution will give you that is not better than what we're going through now.
Do you have the intellectual core to trigger the revolution you want in Nigeria?
I don't know who does, and I do not ascribe any intellectual capacity that is special to myself. But I know that we need a revolution, and I've committed my life towards making sure we have one.
But for revolution to happen, you need an intellectual core.
There is more than an intellectual core.
Ready for revolution?
Absolutely.
Where are they?
Well, you wait and see when the revolution happens.
You have called for it. It did not happen.
Why did you think that they were scared of a revolution in 2019 when I called for it? Because they understand that we are ready for it. And I was arrested and detained for 5 months over it. Like I told you, I underwent interrogations. I was brought to court. I was abducted in front of a judge.
You were arrested or abducted?
I was abducted and re-abducted in front of a judge in a courtroom, which you're aware of. So the moments are right before you. They're happening before you. The question is, what you understand to be a revolution and what I believe will be a revolution. But I will not deny that the revolution that we're calling for hasn't happened first, yet.
It hasn't happened? Is it something like NSAS?
Well, maybe it could be something like that, but NSAS is also not a revolution yet. Revolutions are a series of events over time before they finally birth.
Because I'm saying, perhaps Nigerians don't understand you. So you need to explain to them what you mean by revolution now.
I don't think Nigerians don't understand me. You understand? I think what...
Because you call for it, they don't follow.
No, it's actually not true that they don't follow. Because the revolution that I called for in 2019 had 26 cities participating in Nigeria. And it's not that they just participated. Persons who participated, the leaders of those revolutionary actions, were arrested and tried in various courtrooms across Nigeria, including here in Oyo State, in Ogun State, in Abuja, in Edo State, in Port Harcourt. People were arrested. Some were tried, some weren't tried. So you can't say that people didn't follow. They brutally put down that revolution. And I was arrested even before the day of it. I was arrested on the 3rd of August, 2019. And the revolution now protests happened across Nigeria on the 5th of August, 2019. So people, even despite my absence, people did respond to it. And don't forget that I was the first to call for NSAS, by the way.
But NSAS did not want you. Were you disappointed?
No, it's not as if NSAS did not want me. It's part of what I'm telling you, that when the ruling elite sees that you are marching inescapably towards the revolution that they dread, they introduce all kinds of things, including confusion, between and amongst